I wanted to come and show you, I've had a couple of requests for some different type of foundation. I did a full coverage foundation video a little while ago, and it was before Jane Iredale came out with her new Glow Time Pro. And so I was using the old BB cream, and it is a great product, great full coverage foundation product, but they have replaced that now and with Glow Time Pro. And then there's another product in her line called the Beyond Matte Liquid Foundation. So it's this. And a couple of you had asked me if I would do a video on using the Beyond Matte and also the Glow Time Pro. So this particular video is going to show you the coverage with the Beyond Matte. So that's what I am going to attempt to show you today. Okay, so I'm going to start with by using a primer. I love to use a primer with anytime I do a full coverage face. So I'm going to use the Smooth Affair Illuminating Glow primer. Guess you can't see that. But it's called the Smooth Affair Illuminating Glow. You could also use the Smooth Affair Brightening Primer with this. And that would be great too. If you wanted a little extra hydration, I would suggest going with the Brightening Primer. So we're just going to use the Illuminating Glow today. I love it because it has like a really pretty pearly finish to it. And it just really fills in the pores really nicely. And I'm just applying it with my fingers. You could also apply it with a brush, but I just find it's a little bit easier to just apply it with your fingers. So there's my primer. I did only put on a little bit of concealer. I used the Circle Delete. I always use the pink color in the Circle Delete, and sometimes I use the Enlighten one depending on how much color I have. So yeah, I'm using the Circle Delete. I use the pink in it. The reason I use the pink is because pink neutralizes blue, violet, and gray colors. So instead of just covering up with concealer, we're actually neutralizing the color, the blue, the violet, and the gray that so many of us tend to have underneath our eyes and on top of our eyes. I always just use it on the eyelid as well as kind of an eyelid primer. So, okay, next I'm going to use the Beyond Matte, and my color is M8, and I am a medium skin tone with a warm undertone. So I'm a medium. I'm in the medium family as far as light, medium, medium. I'm medium. And then I have a warm undertone. So M8 is great for me. A lot of you have asked, kind of what the other colors would be. And some of you have said, hey, I'm a blonde. I have a little bit more of a cooler undertone. In the pressed powder and the liquid minerals, you could try Satin. Satin is in the light to medium family with a neutral undertone. So it doesn't have too much cool or too much warm. It has a neutral undertone. So that is and it's a very popular color. It fits a wide range of people. So that you could just start with that. And if you were in that category, really the Beyond Matte, you could be anywhere from the M4, M5, or M6. You would just have to go to your local retailer and get them to match you up. But so I would suggest if you were kind of a light to medium and you were a neutral undertone, you're going to be one of either the M4, 5, or 6. So, okay, I'm just going to use not even quite a full pump of this. I'm going to try to use more like closer to a half a pump. So I'm going to show you, I'll show you that. So I'm going to dot it on my skin. You do not have to blend this in as fast as the Glow Time Pro. The Glow Time Pro sets really quickly, and so you have to blend that really fast. The Beyond Matte is so nice because you've got a little bit more workable time. So I'm using the contour blush, the blending contour brush, and it's got a really nice big fat head on it with lots of bristles. It's really nice, but the awesome thing about Beyond Matte is you can just use your fingers too. It blends so nicely that I'm doing this other side with just my fingers so that you can see that of how well it blends just with your fingers. Okay, there we go. So I would call this a medium coverage, and it is still, you guys, it's still workable and blendable. I love that it still feels creamy. This is not an overly shiny foundation. It's called Beyond Matte. I don't find that it is matte at all, but I would call it more of a satin finish or more of a velvet finish. So I think if you liked the old BB cream, you will like this as well, because I feel like it gives that same velvety finish. Not quite as thick as the old BB cream. It's a little thinner. It smooths on really well. I don't feel like it settles into fine lines and pores. I have definitely like medium-sized pores in my T-zone, and I do not feel like it blends it, that it settles into those pores at all. I just finished going over my entire face with a little bit of the pressed powder. So if you want a full coverage over the Beyond Matte, I would suggest putting the pressed powder over it to get that full coverage look. And just go right over your eyelids. Use a smaller brush to fill in around your eyes and around the smaller areas of your face. Give it a little spritz with your hydration spray. And now you have a lovely base. I feel like this is almost as, I wouldn't call this full coverage like wedding full coverage, because I would probably want to completely cover up these little age spots that I have here, and you can see that they slightly shine through. That doesn't bother me, but if you don't want anything to shine through, then Beyond Matte and the pressed powder may not be enough coverage for you, and we might have to go with the Glow Time Pro. But I feel like this is definitely a medium coverage. I love the finish of it. I feel like it is, for me, it's dewy enough for me, but it is not a shiny finish by any means, and it's really nice. I have combination skin. In my T-zone, I tend to be a little bit oily kind of midday, and this works great for me, especially with the pressed powder over it. If you are a very dry skin type, I would suggest using the brightening primer, and then maybe don't go over it with the pressed powder. Maybe you don't need that. You could probably just go with the Beyond Matte. So there's the coverage. I'll do, let me see, I can grab I can put on my 5-minute face over this real quick. I would do my lash conditioner. Usually it's suggested to just do one eye at a time, but I'm going to be fast, so I'm going to put my mascara on. go. Then I'll just do a touch of blush. This is the Sheer Honey. I love it for just kind of a nice neutral look on me. The Sheer Honey is neutral. On somebody who is a little bit more of a neutral skin tone or cool skin tone, I would go with Flawless. Flawless is such a pretty neutral blush, and it's great for people who don't love just a really pinky blush, or they don't really like their blush to look like a certain color. They want it to be neutral. Alright, so that's Sheer Honey. It's got a really pretty, just kind of just a little warm, kind of deep apricot glow to it. And I'll do Molly for my lipstick. Go over it with Nutmeg. Okay, there you go. There. Oh, got a little mascara on one of my hairs. And you could, I'll say one last thing, you could just go ahead and go over your eyelids with Sheer Honey. I love that for my 5-minute face because it gives you a little bit of color up there without having to go, you know, fully into using an eyeshadow. So if you're using more of a neutral blush, you can just put it on your eyelids. So there we go. We've got Beyond Matte, pressed powder, little concealer, mascara, blush, and lipstick, and that is it. I didn't even do my brows, y'all. So obviously I would probably want to do a little bit of brows, but I'm happy with the coverage of my foundation. If you have any questions about the Beyond Matte and what I think about it and how I use it, let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see another product, see me try out another product, just let me know. Okay, bye.